Hello and welcome into historic Keyworth Stadium for tonight's USL W League match. It's Detroit City FC versus the visiting Cleveland Force SC. My name is Jarrett Mackey, and I'm alongside Sean Grogan this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on CBSDetroit.com. Sean, Detroit City FC comes into this match flying, a perfect record of 3-0-0, scoring goals, keeping them out of their own net. Number 2 in the USL W League power rankings so far this season. An incredible start to life for Dave Dwayhe's side. What's been the key to success so far for this squad?
I really think the key to success so far has just been the number of chances they're able to generate offensively. Not every chance is going to go in, but if you're able to generate that many chances, they will eventually go in, and they have certainly scored quite a few goals so far. Yeah, and certainly, the 5-goal outburst last week against the Michiana Lions, 5 goals on that occasion. And we mentioned availability, how much it matters, stuff like that. Great to see Lily Jekyll again involved today. She's been sort of the catalyst for a lot of the good things for this team going forward. So to see that she's been available, been in this, the mix so far for most of the games this season, really great to see. On the other side of the field, Cleveland Force comes into this game in a similar position to where they kind of were last year, struggling a little bit, not really able to they're tough to break down, but they're not able to score as often as they'd probably like to, but a difficult schedule as well so far for them. When we last were in the broadcast studio, they had played 0 games, and that was last Thursday, only 8 days ago. Since then, this is their 4th game. They played the 24th away in Ann Arbor, the 26th away in Flint, the 29th away in Kalamazoo, and now away in Detroit. So it's really been a whirlwind tour of Michigan. They may have some tired legs on the back of that schedule. That's very tough, but...
Yeah, and we looking at their lineup, we kind of recognize that they're a younger squad. They like to develop from within. They have a really good system and academy down there. So not only just the building up of matches, but also on young legs too. As we take a look at Detroit City FC starting 11, Lily Jekyll, Aubrey Champa leading the line, and that midfield, that 4 in the midfield is incredible for Detroit City.
You've got Emily Paget and Sophia Romine will be the more advanced midfielders, sort of playing in the channels. Tatiana Mason and Lily Bosley sitting in behind as holding midfielders. And then the back line of Ella Offer, Avery Peters, Maya Sulis, and Drew Martin. Yeah, so Sophia Romine made her debut against Michiana Lions. Not too much better that can go. Scored a goal, scored an absolute worldie of a goal, and was just the woman of the match on that occasion. Really asserted herself in the midfield and a great addition to this side. Talking to David Dwayhe in training leading up to her debut, he was so excited to get her involved. Thought he had a really strong squad already, but the addition of Romine has only added to the good time so far here for Detroit City FC. We see the final team huddles here, getting ready to go. Both sides, as Cleveland goes through their final, not only a lot of games, but having to travel for some of them as well. So looking to kind of right the ship a little bit here. They're a tough team to break down. Last year I mentioned only 1 win for the visitors, but it was against Midwest United. So if you're getting a win, if it's against that good of an opponent, it says something about some of the quality that you have within your ranks. They have scored 0 points so far in their season, but I don't think they're helpless having watched their games. They've scored in every game. They've had some good passing combinations. They just need to put it together on both ends of the field.
So things are set here at Keyworth Stadium. Another beautiful day. So far we've been spoiled with the weather here at Keyworth as a train already starts to go by as the goalkeeper takes her place in net. That'll be Morgan, Lillian Morgan for the visitors. So players are getting in position and ready to go. As we get ready, Detroit City FC looking to get off to continue their best ever start to a W League season, really any season since fielding a women's first team. Of course, the first match of the Pride Raiser campaign for the Northern Guard supporters benefiting Ruth Ellis Center. So hoping to see a lot of goals today for Detroit City FC, and that's why you'll notice a different color being worn by the Detroit City FC players. As we get ready underway, here comes the whistle, and we are off here at Keyworth Stadium in today's USL W League contest. Detroit City FC. Expect to see that a lot playing out of the back.
Detroit immediately on the ball, passing it around, looking to find a space in the Cleveland defense. It's out for a Detroit throw-in. And
we mentioned last week, we talked about it a lot, how Avery Peters did play midfield last year. And when she's stepping back now in a center back position, when she steps up and wants to be involved in the play and start Detroit City FC's attack from the back, really competent in doing so and also really confident in doing so, which sets up a great base for the midfield to operate on.
She does have a different partner in the back line today. It has been Acadia Murphy all the games before this. Maya Sula stepping into that spot tonight. But she is well familiar with Avery. They've played together. It's just she's stepping into the center back role instead of playing as a right back where we've seen her the game so far this year.
Ella Offer on that far side, been integral so far for what Detroit City FC's tried to do. Avery Peters stepping into midfield already as we see it. A great ball out wide. That's going to be Sophia Romine. That's going to get the end of it. Has Lily Jekyll in the box up with her. Cuts it back for Aubrey Champa at the top of the area, but the offside flag will go up on the near side. But get ready to see that exact same attacking position and attacking cadence kind of work for Detroit City FC here early on.
She won't be thrown off by the early offside call. She's looking to push that line. Eventually, all it takes is one, and you're through.
Sophia Romine, dangerous on the ball. Of course, spent 2 years as a Wisconsin Badger playing in the Big Ten before transferring to Minnesota. Became a Golden Gopher for 2 years, and now she's lighting up the pitch here at Keyworth Stadium from Romeo, Michigan. Good job to keep that one in by Ella Offer on the far side touchline. Romine now on the ball with space to operate. Gets it up to Lily Jekyll. Jekyll on the turn. Just absolutely such a dangerous player when running into the back line, but a good ball, and thought it was, line judge kind of hesitated, but Sean Grogan knew it the whole way, had his hand up in the booth. Shame he's not on camera. No one got to see that. Sometimes you just know.
Just one step offside.
Sometimes you just know.
They're looking to push the line early.
And it's already been it's only been 2 minutes so far. We've already seen that formula, that equation try to work out twice so far. So again, get ready to see that over the course of 90 minutes as Aubrey Champa does well to apply the pressure. Of course, Champa had the brace against Flint. That made all the difference here at Keyworth Stadium in the W League home opener. Again, active there. Tatiana Mason gets it. Sophia Romine on the turn. Romine is going to look to play in Drew Martin. Drew Martin's doing a good job running down that near side touch line. It's going to go out for a throw for Detroit City FC deep in the Cleveland half. Nearly kept in there, but it's going to go out for Detroit City FC. He's going to retain possession. Martin again cutting inside. Tried to lay it off there, but it's going to be her Western Michigan teammate, Emily Paget, that picks it up. Tatiana Mason on the turn. Sees Lily Bosley in a ton of space in the middle of the park. Sophia Romine, great first touch. Does well to battle off the defender. Cuts back all the way to Avery Peters. Peters playing it forward. A good ball over the top. Lily Jekyll onto it. Thought she was going to fashion a shot there. Likes to cut it back and still retains the ball. Going to get tackled there legally. Bosley to Champa. Of course, we saw Lily Jekyll earn the penalty for Detroit City FC at the end, the tail end of the Michiana Lions match. Stepped up to it and was a saved opportunity, but we'll see it time and time again. She's not afraid to dribble inside of the opposition penalty area. Sophia Romine tried to go past two. It's going to be turned over. And the counterattack potentially on here for the visitors. A good ball forward. First time we've kind of seen the visitors on the ball so far. That one might take a couple bounces off the turf and go out. It'll be a deep, deep throw in for Detroit City FC in their own half.
Very difficult when the ball is out for a throw-in deep in your own half. It's difficult enough to keep possession on throw-ins just in any case. But when you're pinned in your own corner like that, and we see Cleveland win the ball back immediately.
Good job cut out there by Tatiana Mason, but it's not really cleared out all the way. She'll require a little bit of a kickoff, and I think that bounce right there might have troubled her a little bit, but we don't see a bounce like that unless we're at beautiful Keyworth Stadium off of the turf there. So out for a goal kick. First time Gabby Shriver's been involved in today's contest.
Likes to play it short, just keep the game going.
Exactly what we expected. Exactly what we expected. But turned over here by Detroit City FC. Good pressure by Cleveland early on. Avery Peters sort of in a precarious situation. As it turned over there, Cleveland just unable to complete the final ball there. They had numbers in the box, and Lily Boble was kind of waiting for that one to get to her. She had a wide open shot on frame, but it never made its way over to her. As Aubrey Champa now immediately Detroit City FC flipping the script. A great job by Champa to retain possession. Champa is through on goal from a wider angle, unable to force it in. to Paget, who was making a good run. But that's how quickly Detroit City FC can flip and get things going in the opposite direction, as we see it again here. Avery Peters just kind of gives the ball away. Not often you see that, but a good job to clear it out. Detroit City FC now in the area. Lily Jekyll stepping over. Paget now. Paget and Jekyll has been a dangerous combination early on in this season. Romine assessing the option, sees Paget. Paget's going to run into some space. Thought about going for the shot. Elects to get it back out wide to Offer. Offer now. Left-footed ball into the area. That one was sort of always going to be a tighter angle. Not sure if that went out. Looks like it'll be a goal kick.
Just out of bounds before the goalkeeper caught it.
So Cleveland, you know, they've seen what Detroit City FC is going to want to do, and to their credit, they've been a good job of kind of holding things back a little bit so far, and not being able to bending but not breaking so far. And when they've had the ball, it's been sparse, but when they've gotten to dangerous opportunities and dangerous situations. Just nothing tangible coming from it just yet.
I really think that Cleveland needs to get number 10, Lauren Contini, involved. She scored twice in their first 3 games. She's a commit at Louisville. Just coming out of high school. When she was a junior in high school, she led the entire state of Ohio in scoring. So a bit of an attacking threat there from her as we see Detroit.
Lily Jekyll in the area, the right-footed effort. It has to be blocked away, and it needed to be because it was going to be a powerful right-footed strike. So a good job there by the Cleveland back line to stay resilient. Champa now, edge of the area. Doing well to dribble past her defender. The shot's going to come in from Champa. That one didn't really trouble the keeper in terms of physically, but maybe mentally sort of put her on notice there a little bit, and a good job to get the shot off considering the position she was in. But we'll see it again here. Champa just sort of trying to dribble to create the space, eventually created the space, and then the right-footed effort just sailed over the bar, and the keeper, she was up for it, Lillian Morgan was, and she needed to be, or else that could have been trouble.
That's not far off. Like to see Detroit taking those shots from far out.
We saw it pay off last time out against the Michiana Lions. It was Sophia Romine on that occasion, and that was sort of a match where it felt like every shot Detroit City FC was taking was going in. I don't think that'll be the case this afternoon, but still good to see that they're willing to try those. It shows confidence amongst the squad.
They will eventually go in if you keep taking them.
It's only a matter of time. In the midfield now, back to Jekyll. Jekyll, you know, she's so impressive when she's running through behind on, and as we see, Elby Champa nearly got on the end of that one. We know Jekyll's qualities when running in behind and dribbling inside of the area, but she's just as good with her back to goal as well, which is impressive considering she's playing against people, in some cases, a decade older than she is.
We've seen it in the early moments a couple times already where she doesn't have much space in the box and has been able to cut back, create that space for herself. That's all ball skills.
Not, you know, since the opening match in Flint, she's been without her strike partner in that contest, Adele Francis. So first time we're seeing her and Champa out there to start a match. So interested to see how that goes. Last week it was her and Hannah Crum, and that worked out, considering the 3-0 lead at the half. And Hannah Crum was definitely a part of that. She's on the bench this afternoon. So Detroit City FC again building out of the back. Really composed and taking their time when going forward.
Ooh, Ella Offer in lots of space
and
on the left side
there.
That
was a great ball there by Avery Peters. Ella Offer now dribbling into the area, has 2 up with her, going to play it all the way across. And just a little bit too close to the goalkeeper. She had Jekyll and Romine running into the box.
Detroit starting to have a lot of success by playing direct, really showcasing their speed, not just from the attackers, but
and that was a great ball by Avery Peters. Ella Offer can be in that space all she wants, but she's got to be found with it as we see her left-footed ball into the area again. A great claim there by Lillian Morgan, and it had to be. That's one of the fastest trains. You usually don't see the trains go that fast here.
No, he's cooking.
He's got somewhere to be. Champa back in the midfield to Mason. Tatiana Mason has space and time on the ball. Lily Bosley, 2-time Miss Soccer winner in the state of Michigan. Hard to win that award once, let alone twice. Cutting inside, the right-footed shot's going to come in, and that was an awkward deflection a little bit there for Victoria Linsha. It's going to go out for a Detroit City FC corner, first of the game. We were talking about liking seeing these opportunities, seeing these shots come in from distance, and right there, it was Emily Paget on this occasion who took the right-footed effort, and it was a good one, and just sort of an awkward deflection. Could go anywhere.
That was struck very well. Just a little better deflection, and could have been danger for Cleveland. But it's out for a corner. Detroit has another chance at it.
Tatiana Mason going to move the stanchion for the Detroit City FC VIP section. DeadCityFC.com/tickets. That ball is going to come in. Sort of a higher ball than her teammates would have wanted it to be. Great job there by Sophia Romine to get that first touch and generate some separation between herself and the defender. All the way back out to Drew Martin. Drew Martin cutting inside. A left-footed ball is going to come in. Champa in some space here, edge of the area. And you know that next touch right there was going to be a shot.
Just took it into the defender, but she did well to bring it down.
That ball is going to be played forward. Some pressure there from Emily Paget. Paget's been at the heart of everything good so far about Detroit City FC so far this season. Scored in Flint, scored against Michiana last week, and both, as an engine, but also as on the ball, a skill player. She's been really impressive to watch so far.
She has a knack for turning up in the right spots in the box too.
And every time she seems to be in acres of space, and the movement that she applies when she knows the ball is going to come into her is absolutely incredible. Really good job so far here from Detroit City FC. We talked to Dave Dwayhe on Thursday, and before the Michiana Lions game, he said that early goal was going to be important, and I feel like it applies here too. Cleveland, despite where they are on the table, they're hard to break down. They really are. They're a resilient team when defending, but an early goal changes that, right? It kind of forces them to come out a little bit. So if we see an early one here, it could make the difference. But if we get 35, 45 minutes into this game and it's still 0-0, it could be an entirely different second half for these two teams.
Could start to become nervy then. Of course, a lot of these Cleveland players played youth soccer together, so they know each other pretty well. So they could be tough to break down as the game wears down, or as the game wears on.
Peters all the way back to Shriver. Shriver gets in Maya Sulis involved. Of course, the first 3 games so far this year, we saw Avery Peters matched up with Acadia Murphy in the back line. Now Maya Sulis steps in to show what she can do. A great player, been around Detroit City FC for a few seasons now, and is really competent on the ball, same as Peters.
She's very versatile, too. We've seen her play in a number of positions.
Including fullback. Oh, and that was nearly another great chance there to find Offer. And every single game I've seen Offer play in so far, she's been in acres of space for most of the game. Teams have yet to find a way to shut that down. Really just no pressure right now on Peters and Sulis, so they're able to play out of the back and take their time and see what runs are developing. As the closest player to Peters right now is 5 to 10 yards off of her.
Cleveland is electing to sit in. They're not pressing very high.
And but just like I was saying, like if Detroit City FC scores a goal, then Cleveland has to come out and try to play, and then something could happen there where they become more open at the back. But so far, they're comfortable with what they're seeing so far. Great job there by Romine to step a little bit deeper to receive the ball. Champa now. Champa just turning away from her defender. Aubrey Champa dribbling into some space, plays it all the way over wide. Tatiana Mason in front of the goal, and that one's deflected. I thought it was deflected, but it'll go out for a goal kick. And that's the best chance they've had so far. Great run from deep there by Mason, nearly made the difference in this one.
That's really what they need to keep doing if they're going to break down this Cleveland defense that's sitting in deep. They went direct, found Champa. She was able to use her foot skills to find some space, and Tatiana Mason just popped up out there in acres of space. And
with Tatiana Mason's quality, that's one that she won't miss too many times. So if you're Cleveland, that's sort of a shot across the bow. A little bit dangerous for them to allow that to happen, but they'll be breathing a sigh of relief that it's still 0-0 here on the scoreboard. Again, great job by Champa there to create the space, get into an area where she can find teammates in advanced positions, and we'll see it here. A great ball through the middle by Emily Paget. Lily Jekyll tried to get onto it, but it was a great job by Lillian Morgan to come off of her line and extinguish that flame. A great ball, though, by Paget.
It was.
All the way back to Shriver. Shriver, nothing but time on the ball.
Again, Cleveland electing not to press as we see the replay.
Again, just looked up, saw the run. A great job by Jekyll there to make the run as well, and Morgan had to be off of her line quick, and luckily for her and her teammates, she was, and denies Jekyll early on here. But you can see Detroit City FC kind of just turning up the pressure just a little bit, as Drew Martin's going to run into the box here from a deeper, wide position. It's going to go out for a deep Detroit City FC throw-in. Romine, she's been on both sides of the field early on so far. not afraid to get involved. We've seen her out wide on the far side, and we've seen her come shallow and deeper to receive the ball on the turn as well.
It's a very flexible formation from Detroit City FC. You'll see all the different players show up in different spots, and that's how they want it. It's tough to defend when you don't know what players are going to pop up where.
Really good job there by Paget again to win the ball back. A nice little triangle there between Paget, Champa, and Romine. Tatiana Mason in some space. Going to cut inside onto her right foot. Sophia Romine, edge of the air. She's going to go for the right-footed effort, and that one's going to sail up and over the Keyworth wall. But again, you just see Detroit City FC not afraid to take these chances. See it there. Romine laid it off to Mason, who's just in acres of space. Played the ball across, and Romine, we saw her score from a similar distance on Thursday. Clearly not afraid to let that one
Mason keeps
rip.
making those runs in from her holding midfield position into more attacking spaces, and they found success with it at least twice now in the last 5 minutes.
Doing a really good job of overloading the midfield and making Cleveland think about where they're marking, where they're able to push forward. And that's really pushing them even more back than they want to be, as Jekyll tried to play a ball into Champa. Good vision. She saw the run from Champa, just didn't really get the pass on, and it was a good job by Morgan to come off her line to make sure that one didn't go too much further.
They did a good job on that play as Jekyll dropped into the midfield. Paget took her forward spot.
Wow. A great turn there by Romine. Romine's going to pick her head up, see Paget. Paget, the ball is just glued to her feet on this occasion. Drew Martin's making a run. Talk about players who have played together a lot. You wouldn't really, not so much on that occasion, but it goes out for a Cleveland throw-in. Bosley applying the pressure in the midfield. Cleveland just hasn't really had a chance to breathe so far. They haven't had a chance to play the soccer that they want to play or can play. It's just been all Detroit City FC through 17 and a half minutes.
Detroit's a team that really likes to press high early in the season. They will not give you much time on the ball, even when it's deep in your own area.
Mason now. Back to Peters. All the way out wide to Offer. Offer inside to Jekyll. Jekyll on the turn. Has Paget up with her. Lily Jekyll, a great disguised ball over to Paget. Looking to generate the space. Jekyll again. That one's going to fall to Romine, but poked away at the last second. Jekyll took a swing at it and missed. Peters. Inside to Sulis. Detroit City FC just able to do what they want so far here. Mason out wide to Offer. Romine again, switching the area of the field that she's in now over on the far side. And that flexibility you might not have against, the Midwest Uniteds and the Flint City FCs, but if the other team's offering it, why not go for it? Paget does eventually link up there with Tatiana Mason. Played last season at AFC Ann Arbor. As Jekyll now running into some space. Lily Jekyll dribbling. Left-footed strikes that come in from Jekyll, but saved by Lillian Morgan. That one's going to go out for a throw-in. We'll see it again here. Just Lily Jekyll just not ever giving up the ball. And that one's going to go all the way into the hands of Morgan, who's been involved so far early on, obviously much more involved than Shriver has been on the other end of the pitch.
She hasn't had to make too many difficult saves yet, but they are putting her under pressure.
Sulis now in the most advanced position she's been in all match. Usually we see out of the two center backs, it's usually Avery Peters that steps up into the midfield, but Sulis did on that occasion. A really good disguised ball out wide to Ella Offer. Ella Offer has some teammates in the air. That one's going to go up and head it out for a corner. That's twice now. Detroit City FC's most dangerous opportunities have kind of been from awkward and weird deflections from some members of that Cleveland back line. We'll see it again here. A great no-look ball there from Paget into the path of Offer. And just deflected away there. A great job again. I think that was Victoria Lynch again to extinguish the flame. And it's out for a corner. Looks like Tatiana Mason's on corner duty today for Detroit City. Delivery into the box. Sophia Romine's in some space. That header is going to go out for a goal kick. But it's kind of rare you see a player in that much space for a header on a corner. See it again here. There's a great ball in if she was looking for Romine. Just look at that. No one right onto the penalty spot and no one within a couple yards of her.
Just didn't catch it how she would want to. On the header?
Not the tallest player out there either. So, if she's winning a header,
Yeah,
there's some marking difficulties going on.
Her game is not built around being a header.
A great header there by Lily Jekyll. Going to fall for Aubrey Champa. Aubrey Champa with a step over. Going to get it over to Romine. Sophia Romine now in the area. We can see what her game's all about. Great job to create the separation all the way back to the top of the box. Lily Bosley, Tatiana Mason cutting inside. A right-footed effort from Mason, and that one's going to be saved. This Detroit City FC team is so technically gifted, and we saw a great example of it right there. The space that Romine created right there to even get Mason involved was incredible to see. The press was on her, and you couldn't tell by the way she handled that situation.
Well, when you create that space for yourself, you really draw in the next defender and create that space for your teammate.
And so far, like Detroit City FC's, the dribbles that they've seen, the 1-2s, the clever step overs, stuff like that, this is the best technical ability so far I've seen from a Detroit City FC squad this season.
So we see the replay.
And that's a dangerous position to be in as a defense, to let Tatiana Mason get onto that right foot and let her have one. They can't be doing that too often if you're Cleveland.
No, it was a well-struck ball. Just right at the keeper, unfortunately.
Heads-up play there by Offer. Isabella Antonio could have made a play on that one. Instead, Offer faked her out a little bit, and that one's out for a goal kick. So Gabby Shriver yet again involved. Only the second time as she takes another goal kick. And there's not much time on the ball as Detroit City FC gets started right away. Martin now, a good ball inside to Romine, who's now in the middle of the park as opposed to the near or far side. Has Offer up with her. That one's not a lot on that one. It's going to go out for a deep throw in. Good touch on there by Michael Kitchen to stop the ball.
Ella Offer's covering a ton of ground early in this match. Just saw her pop up in the defensive line and then immediately right back on the attack.
A great ball across by Jekyll to Champa. Champa settles it down for Romine. Romine gets it over to Martin. Martin plays it back down the line. Lily Bosley. Lily Bosley, a clever step over there. It's going to, the pressure that she applied there won that throw in, and it's deep in Detroit City FC's half. You see Friendly the Bear hanging out.
Taking a photo opportunity, looks like.
It's hard, it's hard not to. Friendly the Bear, Rasan Norris down there from ticketing departments. All-star cast here at Keyworth Stadium this afternoon. Emily Padgett's going to play that one in just a little bit too high for Lily Jekyll. Might stay with Detroit City FC here as Ella Offer again getting involved in the play. Romine. Disguised ball to Jekyll. Disguised even to Jekyll. That's why she couldn't get on the end of that one. Good pressure here from Champa. And that's the thing with all these young players at Detroit City FC, they just have an endless energy and an engine about them. And that's hard for teams to cope with. Romine settles it down in the midfield. All the way back to Avery Peters. Eyes up and over to Maya Sulis. Romine. Romine cutting inside. Has all the time in the world and teammates in front of her. Elects to find Padgett. Padgett's going to play a right-footed ball. Lily Jekyll's making a great run at the back post. Keeps it in. Does a great job to keep that one in. Retains possession. Gets it over to Ella Offer, who's just kind of hanging out on that far side. A good ball into the area. Lila Bosley was over to it. And Padgett, again, that pressure. Nearly one possession back for her side, but not out of the woods yet. And we'll see a shove to the back there and a foul. Physicality picking up just a little bit here at Keyworth Stadium. We saw it here a couple seconds ago with Lily Jekyll getting thrown to the ground and eventually gets back up. He's staying in the fight.
Play on. That's one of the first fouls that's been whistled for early in this game. It's been pretty clean, but the intensity is definitely picking up as first half wears on.
This Detroit City FC team, they play a clean game because I feel like they have the technical advantage over a lot of the teams they've played so far, and it hasn't led itself to needing to foul people, or there's not been a lot of transition play, so not even a lot of tactical fouls.
Detroit really wants to keep the tempo high. They've been taking their throw-ins quick. They've been taking their kicks quick. They want to keep the ball in play and moving. That's where they feel they're the best.
A great job there by Padgett to retain possession, and Champa just dribbling the defender out of her socks. Champa's going to play a ball into Jekyll. Jekyll inside of the penalty. Oh, wow.
Cleveland proving very difficult to break down early. They've got a lot of bodies in the box every time Detroit gets on the attack.
Yeah, their back line standing tall, and a symptom of that is Detroit City FC having to resort to these long shots. That's why a lot of the chances so far from distance have been from distance, because Cleveland's standing tall in the back line inside their own area. Romine, good job to get the ball further up the pitch. Ciampa, a great job to throw a foot at that one and get it into the path of Mason. Lily Jekyll onto it now. Keeping the ball with her. Jekyll finds Paget, back to Lily Jekyll. Lily Jekyll dribbling inside, goes for the right-footed effort at the far post, but it's going to come all the way back out to Ciampa, edge of the area. Ciampa has Romine and Paget to her left and right. Goes to Lily Bosley, who finds herself in more of a fullback situation. Does well to hold off the defender there. Lily Bosley now, left-footed ball into the area. Eventually cleared away, but only as far as Avery Peters. She's pretty far forward for a center back. Avery Peters thought about the shot right there, and then dribbles into some trouble and turns it over to Lily Boble.
Do notice Detroit as adjusting to the run of the play. Avery Peters starting to step into the midfield more as the ball goes deep into the Cleveland box, so she can do just that, pick up the ball as it gets dumped out and go immediately back on the attack.
And we saw it right there as you were talking about it, and wins possession back for her side as Lily Jekyll now has a right-footed effort, and that one was just over. Probably the closest they've been so far that hasn't been on target. Lily Jekyll right there.
And she's able to do that because Cleveland is not playing with any advanced players.
We'll see it again here as Detroit City FC continues to just tighten that screw just a little bit and apply the pressure where it needs to be. Just unable to have any goals to show for it so far, but a ton of half chances in the first 28 minutes of the match. Good ball forward. Detroit City FC out-shooting Cleveland so far 8-0, and it's been evident in the first 28 minutes of play so far. Well, I would say maybe only 2 of those have been really dangerous chances that Cleveland's had to maybe sweat a little bit for. The others have been from distance. They've been good shots, just not really anything troubling the keeper, Lillian Morgan, so far this afternoon.
They are forcing Cleveland to shut them down, though, and hopefully that will create some more space in behind the Cleveland defense.
Mentioned Avery Peters stepping into the midfield. When these two sides first met last season, it was a Avery Peters rocket of a strike that separated the two sides and gave Detroit City FC their first win of last season and Dave Dwayhe's first win as a head coach for Detroit City FC. So
I remember that goal. That was one of the best goals of last year.
She's not afraid to let one go, and if we see her step into a midfield role more often here as this game develops, we'll definitely see a shot or two come from, I think that was a left-footed effort, so maybe her left or right foot, and hopefully, for her sake, we'll see the same result this afternoon than we saw last year. And we mentioned, Cleveland Force only winning 1 match last year, but every time Detroit City FC met up against Cleveland Force, they were a difficult team to break down, and they're proving to be difficult so far here, 30 minutes gone this afternoon.
Avery Peters again into the midfield, looking to push the tempo.
And Cleveland, that's a symptom of the way Cleveland's playing, and they're sort of allowing that. And they don't want to be allowing that, but Detroit City FC is just playing with such a ruthlessness right now that it's opening the space up for Peters to step into the midfield.
When she does that, Maya Sulis is covering the space in behind her, but there's really no Cleveland players up there to even mark. She's just doing that as a security blanket of sorts.
Drew Martin with some space, cuts inside. Drew Martin plays the ball forward, looking for Jekyll. I think Cleveland players maybe wanted a handball there, but Peters is going to keep possession for Detroit City FC. Great turn there by Lily Bosley. Lily Bosley went for it, deflected at the last second. Spoke to Avery Peters at training a few weeks ago. She recruited her University of Michigan teammate Lily Bosley to come and join this roster, and so far she's proven herself to be a great addition. Drew Martin went for the shot there. Never really got a hold of it. Even if it was more power behind it, it would have been off target. A little bit too narrow to that near post, so Lillian Morgan again gets some touches on the ball. Those gloves look relatively thin in terms of goalkeeper gloves. Thought Shriver was going to have a touch on the ball here. It'll be a deep throw-in for Cleveland as far as throw-ins have gone for the visitors so far this afternoon. See if they can take advantage of this and maybe, have some touches on the ball and just try to compose things, settle things down a little bit, and give themselves a chance to breathe. Not really the most sure clearance of all time, but it'll stay with Detroit City FC. Eventually cleared all the way forward, and Lily Jekyll has some space to run into. Great job by her on the touchline to keep it in and get her teammate involved. Tatiana Mason has Ella offered an advanced space. Not sure if she's able to get it over to her. Some good track back defending there by the visiting Cleveland Force. Avery Peters tried to play sort of an obvious ball into the midfield to Champa. Cleveland now just having some time on the ball and trying to build out of the back.
What Cleveland needs to do to get themselves back into a space where they are not getting shot after shot. Just hold on to the ball, slow down the tempo.
And to their credit, it has been a few minutes since Detroit City FC has gotten into anything dangerous positionally.
This last couple minutes from Cleveland have probably been their best since the early opportunity they generated in the first 5 minutes.
A good ball by Drew Martin. Aubrey Champa! Referee has the whistle in her mouth. I think that's going to be a goal kick. I thought maybe, I didn't have the best view of it, but thought maybe that Lillian Morgan and Champa made contact right there. But a great ball over the top by Martin. We'll see it again here. Killer of a left foot there, and Champa, great heads-up play to recognize the run. Definitely got cleared out a little bit.
She took a boot to the thigh.
But really no complaints from her, asking for anything. But, I mean, if you're a keeper, you're kind of in no man's land coming out for something like that. And a situation where a different referee might give a red card.
That is playing with fire. When you come out, you better win that ball. Otherwise,
you either win the ball or you get the player, right?
Right,
so
and put yourself at the mercy of the referee.
Champa gets it over to Jekyll. Jekyll, a great job to keep possession. It's just incredible to watch Jekyll when she has space and time to dribble. Good job there to find Sulis. Gets it over to Bosley. Lily Bosley been more involved the last couple of minutes. Cuts it over to her left foot. Lily Bosley takes a strike. Falls out to Emily Paget. Back to Bosley. Bosley tries to get Offer involved on the incredibly far side, but eventually Offer has to cut inside to get over to it. A good heads-up play there by her to keep possession for Detroit City. Romine. Couple great step-overs there from Romine, keeping it off of Lily Boble. Peters into the middle, looking for Paget, finds Paget. Paget plays it forward. It's going to be Lily Bosley making a run. Just unable to get to it. It was a great ball there by Paget, and even a clever run there from Bosley. Just goes out of play for a goal kick. Yeah, that's a great run by Bosley, and the ball matched how good of a run it was. Just a little bit too much on it.
Lovely ball through the gap there.
To recognize, so far, Emily Paget, her IQ that she's shown off in this game so far early on, spotting those runs has been absolutely incredible. Just still nothing to show for it yet, which is a credit to the Cleveland Force back line. Cleveland now just slowing things down a little bit. Haven't really seen them have a sustained run of possession on the ball, but looking to do so here, playing it out wide. Isabella Antonio has sort of been on an island in that forward position for the visitors as Emmy Butera now looks to run in some space. Plays it over to Lily Boble. Boble from a wide position. Cut out there by Drew Martin. Good strength there from Martin and puts it through Boble's legs. It's going to go out for Detroit City FC throw-in. Deep in their own half, though, so if Cleveland applies the pressure here, it could pay dividends. Going to say that was a foul. Not much in that one.
Not much,
but, Detroit City FC was going to have possession anyways, so.
She got her hands up, slight push to the back. Not too much in it.
Take a look at those Detroit City FC Pride kits for the 2024 season. Of course, today, June 1st, the first match of the Northern Guard Supporters Pride Raiser campaign benefiting the Ruth Ellis Center. Would love for there to be a goal or two before the half to give good money to a great cause here in the city of Detroit. Lily Bosley, just a great job there to maintain possession. Romine been heavily involved in this match so far. Tried to cut in there. Still has possession. There was a good stand there by Erica Leanweber. Peters. Just bursting forward. Has all the space in the world to do so and the time. Bosley finds Jekyll. Jekyll takes a turn, has a shot. That one's deflected. Kind of took some of the sting out of it before Lillian Morgan got her hands on it.
Quite a number of deflected shots so far as we see the replay.
Good job there by Bosley to see Jekyll on the edge of the area. Just the first touch being a shot right there. And that dangerous of a shot without the deflection was really impressive from her. It's going to come all the way back to Shriver.
Cleveland has done a pretty good job of getting themselves between Detroit taking these longer shots. They've deflected quite a number of shots. That can be dangerous, but for the most part it works out in your favor when you're able to get bodies between the ball and the goal. Great
job by Ciampa there to hold on to the ball for as long as she did. Plays in Drew Martin. Drew Martin's going to play right-footed ball into the area, but dealt with well by the Cleveland back line. It's going to come out for a Detroit City FC throw-in. See a stoppage in play here. Referee's running over to do something. You see Drew Martin's ball in one more time, and yeah, good job. Just got to get it out of the area sometimes. Not sure what that conversation was for, but nothing devious, I don't believe. Bosley gets it over to Tatiana Mason. Has an offer. Haven't said offer's name in a couple minutes. Cleveland doing a good job limiting that play as Sophia Romine.
Great.
I think that one opened up a lot more than she was expecting to, and that one's going to go out for a goal kick. I think that the whole Cleveland back line was asleep there, and it's been a rare occasion we've seen that so far. A great ball into a dangerous area here from Ella Offer, and Romine, that became a free header quickly than she would have realized.
I think she was expecting the defender to get a touch on it. Just missed it by a fraction of an inch. It fell to her, and she didn't look like she was expecting it.
Yeah, defender definitely stayed home on that occasion. I don't think anyone expected her to do so as Ella Offers dispossessed here. And for the first time in a while, Isabella Antonio has some space to operate. Goes out wide before being played in the area, and that one is out for a goal kick. So Cleveland, when they've had the chance to get on the ball, they've been relatively wasteful with it here in the first 38 minutes.
Detroit electing to restart play immediately.
We've seen that.
Trying to keep the tempo high.
And that one's going to go out. There's sort of a weird pass to give Cleveland here a deep throw in.
Just a little miscue there.
Those have been rare so far from Detroit City FC, and they've been rare for Cleveland as well. We talked about early on in the match how once it gets past the 35th, 40th minute, that's when things start to get a little bit nervy, and I'm kind of getting the sense that that's starting to happen here. Is that one's going to come all the way in, and never really troubled Shriver, but sort of Cleveland's first shot of the afternoon so far. It had the speed on it, just didn't have the placement from it was Mackenzie Muir at first, and then she laid it off to Kellen Fausel, who just had the effort go wide. Fausel stepping into some space before letting it go, so a positive few minutes here. Was their first shot of the game, so now shots sit at 11-1. Stats department working overtime here at Keyworth this afternoon. Really good job by Romine. Finds Offer. Left-footed ball into the area. Offer's going to go for it. And that had the speed of a shot. It just didn't have the placement that it needed to cause any trouble. And that might have been a shot. I don't know what your opinion is on that.
I think it was a shot. She struck it well, but it's from a tough angle.
Yeah,
tough angle.
Yeah. Another train's coming by. And Offer's been in that space all game, and really this game against Michiana, the game against Flint. So she's going to be out there. It's all about her teammates getting the ball over to her and seeing what she can do with it from there.
She has to cover a lot of ground out there right now. This Detroit formation's pretty narrow. She doesn't have a lot of help from other players. You'll see the other narrow players show wide, but they are all based more centrally. So she's really tasked with covering that entire left side.
Sophia Romine, a really great job to find Offer once again. Offer's going to play it into Emily Padgett. Emily Padgett gets it over, tried to find Jekyll, eventually cleared away by Erica Leanweber. But still with Detroit City FC. Tatiana Mason has time to operate. Plays it all the way, trying to find Drew Martin on the near side. Eventually forces a poke out there from M. Butera. And so far, when Detroit City FC's been at their most dangerous, it has been through Sophia Romine coming through.
Just starting to find the gaps in the center there and really drive through the space, push the attack.
And it's not only, she's good on the ball and quick on the turn, but she's so fast with the ball at her feet. We'll see that one come into the area and sort of headed away by Lily Bosley for a goal kick. So 41 minutes gone, still knotted up at 0-0. Thank you guys so much for joining us on CBSDetroit.com, the official home of Detroit City FC. You stay on this website around 10 o'clock. If you're located in Michigan, you'll see Detroit City FC's USL Championship team take on the 2021 USL Championship playoff champions, Orange County. So looking to get back and sort of get back to winning ways after Wednesday's defeat at Lou City. So 2 games in a week, both on the road, going to be a difficult task for Danny Dicchio and his side, but I'm sure that whole squad is hungry to get back out there and try to right the ship from Wednesday night. Of course, that match also on ESPN Plus if you're not located in the state of Michigan, and Detroit 50 WKBD TV if you're local to the Detroit area. Ball's going to come all the way in to the mixer from Avery Peters, cleared away, but only as far as still be a deep throw in for Detroit City. No question about it, though, LaRouge has been the more dominant side, just unable to really generate anything too concrete as Emily Padgett plays a great ball into Champa, or Offer. Mason keeping possession.
Yet another block from the Cleveland back line.
Champa cutting in to create space. Champa goes for it into the hands of Morgan. And Detroit City FC, again, just turning the screws just a little bit and trying to generate something dangerous. This time it was offered to Champa. And that little turn that Champa did right there, she's been doing that all game and generating space every single time she does it.
That's how they're going to find success, if they're going to find the breakthrough.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Simple as that. So throw in for the visitors in Detroit City FC's half. They've been relatively wasteful when presented with these opportunities so far, so maybe want to just tighten that up a little bit here as we're on the brink of halftime at Keyworth Stadium. Some good passing here from a wide position. It'll stay with the visitors with the throw-in. First time they've sort of had the ball in the Detroit City FC penalty area, if you consider that touch inside of the penalty area. Champa does well to settle things. Romine's going to have to track back to get to it. Does well to do so. Romine spots the run of Drew Martin. It's going to go all the way out for a throw-in. It was a good ball, good idea, just a good pressure as well from Lily Boble. Throw-in coming now. Sulis is going to do well to marshal it over to Martin. Martin, a really composed ball, had Boble right on her, and it's going to come back into the midfield. Tatiana Mason plays it over to Sophia Romine. Really good ball to Romine, and a great job to wiggle out of some space. Finds Padgett. Padgett has Offer up with her. Offer and acres of space. Ella Offer, left-footed ball into the area, blocked away for another corner for Detroit City FC. So they always say the best time to score, worst time to concede is right before halftime. We'll see it again here. Padgett just looking up. And last time she played that ball was a no-look pass. This time she looked and let everyone in the stadium know who she was playing it to.
It does appear that Ella Offer is always going to be making that run. So she has the opportunity to play a no-look pass out there if necessary.
And then you mentioned she's making that run, but now she's the furthest player back for Detroit City FC.
She is covering a lot of ground.
Been one of the more involved players so far for Detroit City FC this season. Really competent when playing with wingbacks this season. And that one's going to go against Detroit City FC. It'll be their first foul of the afternoon. Still in Cleveland's half, so some work to do here if Cleveland's going to want to make anything of this before halftime is blown forward. And not much extra time at all. So Detroit City FC and Cleveland Force SC knotted up at 0-0 here at Keyworth Stadium. And so far, it's been one-way traffic for Detroit City FC, just no goals to show for it yet. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for the second half of action here from Keyword Stadium, back in about 15. Welcome back to Keyworth Stadium. Detroit City FC and Cleveland Force SC here in a 0-0 stalemate. You know, Detroit City FC out shooting Cleveland 13-1. Sean, it's been all LaRouche so far. What's going to make the difference in this second half?
Just keeping those chances coming. Eventually they have to fall if you keep taking that many shots. But Cleveland doing well to sit in, has blocked quite a number of the shots themselves, so they just need to create that space for themselves. And
we mentioned they're a resilient back line. They were doing a great job standing tall so far. A lot of Detroit City FC shots of that 13 have been from distance, have been from outside of the penalty area. But so far, Lillian Morgan doing a great job keeping those out of the net. And Detroit City FC, they just got to get their shots, I think, a little bit closer, a little bit more intentional. And then from there, that'll build the base to go on and try to get the winning goal. We're seeing Gabby Shriver here. Not much she's had to do so far this evening, but nonetheless keeping a clean sheet here through 45 minutes of play as we get ready for the second half of action. I'm Jarrett Mackey alongside Sean Grogan. Thanks so much for joining us on CBSDetroit.com. Waiting for the okay from the center official to get back underway here at Keyworth Stadium. Another 45 minutes for Detroit City FC to break the deadlock and get a goal. But also, if you're pushing so many players forward in search of that opening goal, only one or two passes required from Cleveland. Easier said than done so far this afternoon so far. But still, opening themselves up if they commit a lot of bodies forward. As we're waiting for the center referee. And we are underway. Oh, got us all there.
false start.
Got us all there. We're back underway for the second half of action at Keyworth Stadium.
Referee didn't even wait for her to return this to her side before getting him off, though. However it restarts, we are on the way.
Cleveland in the midfield trying to work the space and get things involved further up the pitch. We say it's a positive start, and it sounds maybe a little bit funny, but legitimately a couple passes strung together here from the visitors, and it's a better start than what they've had so far this afternoon. So Cleveland looking to build out of the back here, but Detroit City FC having to do some defending here early on. We're already back underway. Gabby Shriver's going to have a touch here in the first 50 seconds. All the way over to Avery Peters, who's, again, not afraid to build out of the back and get the side going. Of course, last year's Black Arrow MVP award winner out of the University of Michigan. We keep saying it, but last year she played as a midfielder, now is in a center back role. It's going to come all the way. We'll get to see a lot more of Ella Offer now that she's on this side of the pitch, but still in acres of space. That part hasn't changed. All the way over to Lily Bosley. Lily Bosley's going to play that one forward. It's going to come all the way out to Sulis. Peters.
Again, stepping up into the midfield, looking to drive the tempo of the game.
Not afraid to do so. And with the skill that she has on the ball, the quality of the ball, Lily Jekyll's going to break into some space here. That was a slower shot than maybe she's used to, but it's going to be saved nonetheless by Lillian Morgan. I was thinking she was going for that far post right there, but elects for the near post. And a safe save from the visiting goalkeeper.
See the replay. Jekyll, just not enough pace. Goalkeeper maybe made that one look a little more impressive than it was, but it was in the corner.
But being on the turn to even create that shot was impressive from Jekyll. And again, we've seen that from Detroit City FC. It's just been either scuffed of a shot or just not enough speed on it to trouble Morgan so far.
Chances are coming, and it feels like they are consistently a foot or two away.
As Lily Jekyll now has Champa up with her, plays Champa in a little bit wider than Champa maybe would have liked. The right-footed ball comes in, and I think that one, like I mentioned, just a little bit too wide, took Champa out into a wider position than she would have liked, couldn't really get a good shot onto it.
So we see the replay here. Lily Jekyll driving forward. She releases that play or pass a split second earlier, not so wide.
It's either going to be her or Romine. She had Champa and Romine up with her. Elected for Champa, of course, national player to national player right there. So obviously both extremely talented players, and just maybe a little bit too wide. Turf probably played a factor too, the way the ball rolled off it. And it'll be played down the flank. It'll be all the way, cutting inside. tries to get it over to, that one's going to come in, and that one's going to be blocked away. For a second I looked up, I saw Maya Stulis making an effort at it, but it's going to go out and trickle out of play for a goal kick. So Shriver, no worries there. But again, it's been rare that Isabella Antonio has had the chance to get a shot off, and she went for it there, and it didn't trouble the back line of Detroit City FC, but it made them a little bit nervous and put them on notice a little bit. Martin's going to get involved here. Lily Jekyll was running into it, but a little bit too much on there, and it's going to go into the hands of Morgan, who's going to slow things down a little bit. And, you know, to Cleveland's credit, they were on the back foot for most of that first half. We didn't see them really engage in gamemanship, not really slowing the play down too much. They've been happy to get the game back underway in a quick manner, and I wonder if we'll see that change a little bit as they realize the second half is here and they're only 40 minutes away from picking up a point in a hard environment to pick up a point in. I love gamesmanship. I don't know how you feel, Sean. I love gamesmanship so much.
If it gets results, I'm all about the results.
I just even if it's against a team that I have a rooting interest for, I just think it's so impressive that that's like a tactic in the game that teams have to work on and at least talk about, that I welcome it. I really do. Martin now cutting inside. Elects to play Jekyll. A great first touch by Lily Jekyll. The right footed shot comes in. And I think the crowd was fooled there by depth perception. We heard some applause, but that first touch was unbelievable.
Just wide. As we see the replay, this first touch here is absolutely fantastic.
I mean, you can't have a better first touch to generate a shot right there.
One touch and then the immediate shot off of it.
And that is such a great embodiment of the talent that she possesses and the potential that she has in this game. And just to see her do that, you see her do that 3 or 4 times a game. It's so impressive. And Cleveland's lucky she didn't bulge the back of the net to break the deadlock here. This one's going to come into Romine. Romine, a good first touch to take it out of the air. Goes a little bit wider than she would have wanted to. Cuts it inside. Takes a couple of awkward bounces off the turf before staying with Detroit City FC. Aubrey Champa now first kind of time on the ball in the second half, coming all the way back out to Martin. Martin's going to go for a left-footed strike, and it was always looping. A great punch away there from someone in the suite behind the goal, but it'll be a goal kick for the visitors. And again, it was sort of a slow start to the half for Detroit City FC, but they're kind of turning things a little bit as Champa generated the effort for Martin. Sailed over and out. Romine up for the header. Over to Offer. Offer gets Jekyll back into it. It's Aubrey Champa now. Champa the right-footed effort. That one again. These shots, Sean, they're getting a lot closer.
That is not far away. Does go out for a goal kick, but Detroit City looking very threatening. We get another look.
And just the shake onto over to her right foot there, her preferred foot.
Received the ball in space, and by the time the Cleveland defenders could get near, the ball was away.
Detroit City FC, we saw a lot of this in the first half, but the traffic's starting to pick up in this second half. 7 minutes gone so far. Romine tried to pick out the pass to Paget, but it's going to be turned over. Cleveland, Mackenzie Muir on the turn and gets it all the way over and back to the back line. Offer, a good header down into the path of Romine. Romine on the turn, a great job to maintain possession. Romine plays it into Champa. Champa did that step over there just because she wanted to. There was no one even around that she had to beat on that occasion.
Quickest way to turn herself. So,
I've never played the sport, so I'm just talking up here, acting as if I know the impact of that or how it can impact the defender. But it looked good from up here. It was easy on the eye.
I don't think the defender was close enough to really be troubled by it, but
it looked cool. It looked really cool.
It's a pretty fast way to turn the ball. So that's all she cared about there.
I played this sport a few times. I don't want to sell myself short, but I played at Fort Wayne once or twice. So played an IM game when I was at MSU. So I'm not, I'm selling myself short a little bit, but nothing at this level, of course. I know Sean Grogan out there on the pitch, that's for sure. Detroit City FC kind of just pinning Cleveland back a little bit, but Cleveland able to play out of pressure for the first time, but only as far as Tatiana Mason. Champa now, a good job to generate space. Ciampa looked like she was going to go all of her own, and maybe just an inch further there, she would have been through on goal. But Sophia Romine, that press back and then the press as well from her teammate, just so impressive. She just held on to the ball was glued to Sophia Romine's boot right there.
Doing a lot of hard work to win the ball back. As she wins the ball back again immediately.
And the referee's going to say, I think it bounced off the referee.
Yep.
Yeah.
When the ball bounces off the referee and either it's a turnover in possession or creates a promising attack, play stops, restarts with a drop ball.
That's good officiating. Honest referee.
Yeah, that's a recent rule change, last couple of years.
It's always fun to see it enforced, though.
I do like that rule change. I think it's a good addition to the sport.
Jekyll's going to play it in. He had Ciampa in some space, but just a little bit too much height on it. It's rare that a rule change, I feel like, is universally liked, but I feel like that's one of the ones where people are okay with it and happy with the way things are going.
You don't want the ball bouncing off the referee to change the game. They are a part of the field. Tough to escape when you're refereeing sometimes, but
I think it's the hardest sport to officiate, and not in terms of the decisions you have to make. We'll see a yellow card coming out here. Was that for delay or restart? It might have been. That's going to be Lauren Contini. I think it was for delaying the restart, having a conversation with the official, but it's a hard sport to officiate in the sense that you can never really get out of the way if you're the referee because you have to be so close to the action to see what's happening.
There, as we get a look at the replay, it looks
high, and then I think the whistle had gone there. So I guess it just was for that foul then. Yeah, okay. All right, I think that's a good high boot type deal, and then maybe just left it a little bit late.
Referee waited to see if there was an advantage. There was none, so she stopped play.
Great officiating yet again. Martin into some space. Tried to sneak that one in, and Ciampa nearly picked up the scraps, but it'll come all the way back out to Martin. Martin to Sulis. Not really have had to say Maya Sulis' name too much this afternoon. It's been Peters that's been marauding forward more so than Sulis, but Sulis has had that interlocker. We've seen it once or twice as sort of a physical situation going on over there. Peters settles it down. Plays it in the path of Ciampa. Ciampa all the way out wide to Lily Bosley. Lily Bosley's able to get that ball off. That was a super job there from Bosley to get that ball off. I don't think it's going to... Oh, Sophia Romine, stop that. That one's going to go out for a Detroit City FC. I mean, that's... yeah, that speaks for itself. Back underway, though. Ciampa's not letting that one go. Is Romine back on the ball once again? And that looks so casual for her, the way she did that. Coming all the way inside to Avery Peters. Unable to be fully cleared out here is Lily Jekyll. Might make them pay for it. Lily Jekyll goes for it. And how many times, Sean, so far have we seen that, where the shot comes in and it's just an inch or two over that crossbar?
Again, taking another shot from outside. We see the replay here.
Yeah, just wasn't able to clear it.
Ooh,
just creating your own problems.
That's a nice turn, though, to create the space, get the shot.
Little 10-on-10 battle.
I do think as Detroit is showcasing their dribbling skills in the box, they maybe need to be a little bit more patient, work the ball in closer to the box. We see a couple substitutions coming in.
So number 12 off and number 35 off, so that'll be the end of the day for Kellen Fausel and Lily Bobel.
As we saw Lillian Ma and Mara Jaras come in.
So just sort of a roll of the dice, and I'm not shocked that they're the first side to make subs so far. I think if you're David Dwahey and his staff, you're happy with the way the first half has gone, and there's really not much more you can improve upon other than making those shots closer to the net. Maybe some fresh legs will freshen that up here as the second half rolls on. Wow, we'll see a little bit of a physical confrontation there. Lily Jekyll, she was involved in the physical battle. She's smiling that one off, and that first yellow card, it was probably deserving of a yellow card, but I thought a situation like that might get a yellow card out of the referee, but nothing on that, not even a talking to right there. I think we're just all moving on, and we're putting that one behind us.
From Detroit's perspective, I think they are completely fine with that. They want to keep the ball in play and keep pressing for that breakthrough goal.
Peters, we talked about it too. Once that first breakthrough comes, it'll force Cleveland out of their shell, and Ciampa's going to go for it. Aubrey Ciampa off of the post. And wow, that came out of nothing.
Just
Aubrey
inches
Ciampa right
away.
there.
Here's the replay.
Peters again. That comes from Peters stepping into the space. And wow, Lillian Morgan was beat on that one, and that's an incredible shot from Ciampa.
You cannot strike a ball cleaner than that.
And we're talking, you know, for those watching at home, we're talking about a difference of millimeters right there, from hitting the one side of the post where it bounces back across the face of goal and not going in. So as we see it again here, just an incredible turn to create the space for herself. The right-footed shot comes in, and yeah, that's a matter of inches, folks, if not shorter from that being the opening goal of the match, and what an opening goal it would have been.
Cleveland did leave her in quite a bit of space there in the center of the field, allowed her to take that shot.
And we saw her 2 goals against Flint, the Detroit City FC W League home opener. They were good goals, you know, in terms of the squad, but they sort of fell to her in funny ways. The second one was a great ball by Paget that she tapped in from literally an inch in front of the goal line, and then the first one, it kind of just opened up for her. So she has the skill to score goals that look a little bit nicer than those 2, and we almost saw it right here for the opening goal this evening. That one's going to go out for a throw-in and nearly immediately taken by Detroit City FC. Just lost there by Paget. It's going to come all the way back out to Avery Peters, who's really not really had much defensive work to do at all. Most of her work has been in building up the play so far, but capable when called into action. Good job there by Drew Martin to settle things down. Wants to do a couple step-overs of her own. Try to play it in the path of Jekyll. It's going to come back out to Tatiana Mason as her and Romine fight over it. Ciampa back to Martin. Martin's going to play that one forward. A clever poke down right there from Paget, just unable to be on the same page with her teammates. And now Cleveland kind of, it's funny to say that this is having bodies forward, but from what we've seen so far in the first 60 minutes of action, that's sort of been the case so far. It's going to fall to Cleveland here. Going to be into the hands of Shriver. Sort of her first, the first time she's been called into action in a situation that's not been a goal kick, and see some subs being readied by David Dwahey and his staff down there. It's going to come all the way out for a Detroit City FC throw-in right about midfield. Romine took it, tried to find Paget, just sort of a heavy touch there from Paget. The good thing about Dave Dwahey and his staff is they have such a plethora of options to choose from in terms of attacking quality. You know, you look up amongst the bench, Ella Kane would be a great option to come on. Hannah Crum, of course, scored, and Kate Childers is a player that could do something dangerous.
Does look like Kate Childers getting ready to come in.
I believe that Ella Kane, the other one as well. So we could have sort of a shake of the dice here, and the way that Detroit City FC has been able to play so far in this game, I wouldn't be shocked if it's for one of those deeper midfielders and just adding an extra forward up top to even further that pressure on the Cleveland back line.
They have shown a willingness to change the system as the game wears on. Would not be surprised to see it here as they're struggling to find the breakthrough. Just throw this Cleveland defense something a little different that they need to adjust to.
We'll see the subs coming in now. I believe it's going to be Tatiana Mason's going to make way. So it's sort of a catch-22 situation because everyone's playing so well that whoever that first name was going to be, it would feel harsh. But Tatiana Mason comes off as well as Emily Paget. So you can mark that on as Ella Kane and Kate Childers coming on to the pitch for Detroit City.
Looks like Kate Childers taking position as a holding midfielder, replacing Tatiana. And Ella Kane into the attacking midfield position off the start. We saw her play a formation change when Ella came on last week.
Yep.
They played her as a winger,
yeah.
But she does look like she's playing centrally today.
Yeah. Peters able to, again, we've seen that she's been comfortable going forward when having to do so. Childers plays it over. A great job by Ciampa there to turn. Ciampa with the right-footed strike, and that one was on target again, but just into the hands of Lillian Morgan. No sweat off her brow. And still able to keep a clean sheet as we enter the 63rd minute of tonight's contest. It's been a battle for Detroit City FC, and they've had the chances, no doubt about that, just unable to convert on one and make the difference. As Sophia Romine is going to get her way forward. Lily Jekyll played in some space. I was going to say the offside flag was up, but I thought that Jekyll had to run past the defender to even get in that position in the first place. But still, flag comes up, and Cleveland able to breathe a sigh of relief so far. But I think with that sub with Mason coming off, we'll see Romine going a little bit more forward here to break the deadlock.
Must have just been a matter of inches on that one because she was very close, but the assistant referee has a better viewpoint than we do.
No doubt about that. Not to say we have a great view up here at the Keyworth Stadium
have a great
press
view,
box, but
we're
not down there. Yeah,
we're not directly on the line at all times.
I think line judges are kind of underrated in the sense that they run a lot, especially in a game like this where there's one side attacking and kind of break the back line a little bit. They do so much work down there, and they always get it right on the touch line. So I think it's the hardest referee position aside from the center, which is silly to say because there's only, 3? It's definitely not going to be the fourth official.
Without the benefit of VAR, you really have to be paying attention at all times. It's just a matter of inches that can decide things.
I would love to have VAR at Keyworth. That'd be it's so much fun in so many ways. Maya Sulis there showing the determination to dribble past, but eventually gets caught up and tripped up. It'll be Martin now advancing the ball for Detroit City. Plays a ball all the way down the line, and it was a crucial touch, and it had to be because Jekyll was certainly going to get onto that one, and if you're Cleveland, you definitely don't want her to have time and space on the ball. So 65 minutes of action gone here at Keyworth Stadium. Thank you guys for joining us on CBSDetroit.com as well as the Detroit City FC YouTube channel. Childers gets it on the turn, gives it over to Romine. Sophia Romine lining up a shot. That one comes in, and Sophia Romine, for the second time in 2 matches, scores an absolute banger and gives Detroit City FC the 1-0 lead here at Keyworth Stadium.
I have a sense of deja vu on that goal. That is almost exactly like the one we saw last week. She strikes it on a rope to the top corner.
An unbelievable effort from Sophia Romine. And you mentioned deja vu. You mentioned just seeing that goal only a couple days ago. This time it's on the other end of the pitch, and Detroit City FC finds themselves up 1-0 here at Keyworth Stadium. What a strike.
That is really going to force Cleveland, as we see the replay here again real quick.
Wow. I mean, you can't put that any more in the top corner if you tried.
I have chills watching that. This is really going to force Cleveland, though, to push to find that equalizer. Hopefully create a bit more space behind the Cleveland defense that DCFC can exploit to get themselves a security goal.
So Detroit City FC now breaks the deadlock. They're now in control of this match. The goal had been coming for Detroit City FC. 66 minutes on the clock. Now 66:35 to be exact, and Detroit City FC now operating from a position of the lead. So we'll see how that changes the way the two sides sort of operate in this second half.
The physical play starting to pick up. We saw some strong tackles there on the legal side, but
there was a little bit there. Yeah, there's a little bit of a question being asked right there.
Ella Kane showcasing her attacking talents. Ella Kane in the wide spot sends the ball just over the top.
And we're back with Detroit City FC again, breaking forward. They're not going to change their game plan up too much, but we'll see things change a little bit right here. And scan the QR code on your screen right now to donate to Detroit City FC and the Northern Guard Supporters 2024 Pride Raiser campaign. You can make a one-time donation. You can make a pledge per home goal here scored at Keyworth. And if you're Sophia Romine and you're a fan of the Detroit City FC team, that goal right there was worth $1,635 for the Ruth Ellis Center. So get your pledges in now. Happening the entire month of June as Detroit City FC might add a second here, and that one goes out of play. We'll see. I mean, we'll see the goal right here. That was worth all the money right there. And not only is that goal worth $1,635.69. It's also worth the price of admission here at Keyworth Stadium and then some. A great strike by Romine.
Would love to see Detroit keep pushing for a second goal. Add on to that total for the Ruth Ellis Center.
That goal is still unbelievable to me. That's awesome. And Detroit City FC now, we'll see how Cleveland kind of has to change to counteract that goal. And if you're Cleveland, you'll feel hard done by that. They did such a great job defending for the first 65 minutes of the match. And to have it come apart in that way is going to be a little bit deflating for them. But they knew the quality of this Detroit City FC side coming into this match. And now Detroit City FC yet again through Sophia Romine. Let's see if she can keep this one in. Does really well to do so. Takes some sting off the ball, too. Plays it into the area, but only as far as the Cleveland back line. But it'll stay with Detroit City. All the way out wide. Lily Bosley's going to play that one in, but only to the hands of Lillian Morgan. And assisting on that goal, I always love when bangers get scored and you kind of forget who assisted the goal a little bit, but it was one of the substitutes. It was Kate Childers.
Referee adjusting the goalpost back onto the line here. Must have gotten knocked off at some point.
That's how powerful Sophia Romine's shot was.
Blasted the goal off of the line.
Yeah, it moved the frame. And
that is power. That is.
I mean, you can't, to have that much power in a leg is insane. So I haven't caught my breath yet from that goal. That was an incredible strike from Romine. And, of course, the monetary value associated with that all throughout the month of June through the Pride Raiser campaign. Would love to see a couple of more goals here before we leave the stadium. Is Champa looking to add to this total? Aubrey Champa's going to go for it. And that one was curling from where we are in the press box. That did have the correct spin on it, just didn't have enough time or space to spin all the way up into that top corner.
See the replay again. Another step over.
Incredible.
Nice little cutback to create herself the space. Just wide on the shot. But
so 71 minutes gone here at Keyword Stadium for Cleveland Forest to find an equalizer. It would be out of character the way this game's gone so far. I say that a deflection comes in, and Shriver quick and aware that that's the experience that Shriver has, being aware that she has to come out for that one, despite the fact that it might not have looked as dangerous as it could have been, as Romine now operating, has been confident all night, and a goal like that's only going to give her more confidence. All the way back from Offer. A great job from Ella Offer to get that one back to the back line, and they can operate from a position, again, of confidence when playing out of the back. Sulis now on the ball.
play Jekyll again.
And Jekyll has been a little bit contained by this Cleveland, the back line, the defense they've been putting in. And it's rare that you see that, but a good job from them so far. That one's going to flash all the way across the area. Falls to Childers. Childers thought about the shot, tried to get it off, but it's deflected and out. But a great step up from the back line there. That one's going to come in from Siampa.
Again, inches away.
The team saw what Romine did, and they want to do the same thing. They want to get on it too. They want to get in on the fun.
Block shot.
That's insane.
Ciampa, just inches away from Ciampa
and
there.
how many shots have just been inches away tonight? They've come so close on so many occasions. And Romine, leader in the clubhouse so far this evening on scoring those goals, is Ella Kane's going to have her first chance to run into some space. Kane on the edge of the area, tried to find Jekyll, who was in more space than Cleveland would have wanted her to be. But Ella Kane picks it up again, and they're just Harlem Globetrotters out here just going for it.
When you see a goal that good, you can't help but try and emulate it. That's what I always did as a kid growing up. You see the goal on TV, go outside, out the back, try and hit the exact same thing.
Just going for it. That's awesome. That's awesome. And sometimes it pays off, like we saw with Sophia Romine. So Detroit City FC operating now in a position of the lead. 73 minutes and 30 seconds gone as we get 2 more subs being ready now from Dave Dwahey and his staff. It looks like it'll be Hannah Crum and Alexandria Tefend coming into this match. Of course, Crum started against Michiana, found the back of the net, so a dangerous player to put on here with the lead. So good to see that no slowing down from the DCFC side.
If they can get another goal here, they can really put this game to bed. Bringing on Hannah Crum. She has an eye for the goal, leading goal scorer in Aquinas College history.
Ella Offer, a great job from Offer to find Romine. Romine slips it inside over to, tried to find Champa. I think Peters was kind of knocked off of her perch a little bit there. It's going to go out for a goal kick.
As the subs come in, we'll see who comes off now.
So we'll see. It looks like that'll be, is that Drew Martin, I believe, and Lily Jekyll is going to make way. And, you know, despite the fact that she didn't score, which is rare from the way she's appeared so far this season, that's still a great performance from Lily Jekyll. A great shift, putting in 75 minutes of action and just being a pest to that Cleveland back line the whole game.
I do like the move to bring in fresh legs at this point of the game. Last thing you want is tired legs and give up that 1 goal to drop the points.
Romine now. Since the goal, Romine has been wider. I don't know if that's been from the goal or since the subs came in, because those things kind of happened in tandem, sort of back-to-back a little bit there. So still interesting to see nonetheless, and I'm sure those fresh legs are only going to increase the pressure that DCFC is going to be able to put on this Cleveland Force team.
It is a luxury for DCFC right now to have such a deep bench. They can bring on players for fresh legs and really not drop the level.
So Detroit City FC now looking to see this one out, but still not afraid to go forward and still try to add more goals to their tally here. The way that the Great Lakes Division works, it could come down to a goal differential situation. You never know, so it's good to just make sure the goal difference is looking good if you have the chance to go out and score more.
And they are getting some more chances.
And again, it's been a good showing, from Lillian Morgan so far. A lot of the shots that she's been able to just kind of watch sail over the bar, but when she's had to make saves, she's done so. Just I don't think any keeper is saving that shot from Sophia Romine. Certainly not in the Great Lakes Division. So Detroit City FC now going to have a free kick. Romine standing over it, getting some instructions from the bench.
Probably a little far out to take a direct shot, but if anyone has the quality, it's her. And she elects to play the ball into the box, though.
Yeah, that
looking
was a
for
good
a head.
ball. Lily Bosley was up to it. She did well to create some space for herself, but it eventually sails over and out for a goal kick. So sort of a sigh of relief there from Lillian Morgan.
Get another look at it. Ooh, just inches away from the header
bit,
there.
yeah.
She's able to knock that ball back across to the penalty spot.
And Lily Bosley is going to be desperate to get on the score sheet. It was either against Flint or Michiana that she missed 2 golden opportunities early on in the match and really hasn't had too many looks at goals since then. So she'll want to get on the score sheet for sure and show that those were just blips, that she can put the ball in the back of the net when needed to. So Detroit City FC here, just 16 and a half minutes to see out the 3 points and improve to a division best 4-0-0. You know, Sean, there's 80 teams in the USL W League, and only 12 of them have won every single match they've played so far. And Detroit City FC is one of them already, looking to add to that and lessen that number even more.
We have a foul in a real dangerous spot here now as we get another look at it. Just runs over the back of her, knocks her to the ground, but this is a very dangerous location to have a free kick. Right centered, has the whole goal open to her. Does look like Hannah Crum over the ball.
Hannah Crum, no stranger of shooting from this position, so we'll see what she's able to muster here. Sort of her first touch on the ball, so she'll be pretty excited to give this one a rip and see what she can do. This is literally the exact position that we've seen a lot of the shots come in from so far today, right around where Sophia Romine scored. So Lillian Morgan definitely has a task on her hand. Hannah Crum goes for it. I don't know if she scuffed it or was trying to go under the wall, but nonetheless falls to Ella Kane. Ella Kane gets it out wide, a great disguised ball in, and then just took a weird deflection before going out for a corner. All the way in now. It's going to come up. It nearly went all the way in.
Very close to an Olympico there.
Olympico. Of course, Jeff Adkins, kind of famous for his Olympico here at Keyworth Stadium. You see a plethora of subs coming in for Detroit City
It's
FC.
like Megan Miles and Kayla Addison coming in for Detroit City. And we have Ella Dinwiddie and Elizabeth Pataksek coming in for Cleveland. On the way out, we have Lily Bosley, and looks like Champa is the other exit for Detroit.
So we'll see Kayla Addison being one of the subs, so I imagine that she's going to take that place up top. And then in terms of putting on Megan Miles, we'll see where she kind of slots in. I bet she's going to be part of that back line, or if not, a holding midfielder.
She does look like she's in the holding midfield spot right now. Detroit staying in the same formation.
We're going to see a pause of play here through a head injury. Looks like both players sounded worse for wear on that occasion, but definitely the Cleveland player in a worse spot. So the athletic trainer is going to run on here and make sure that she's all right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Just a clash of heads there.
Yeah.
Good.
And good to see the referee stop play and realize the severity of the situation and run onto the pitch to make sure that she's taken care of. So been a great, really well officiated match so far, and so no shock to see that whatsoever. As the crowd at Keyworth here.
Both players up now.
Yeah, crowd at Keyworth giving a hand to, applaud the fact that the players are up and okay. As both sides kind of huddle up and get ready for what could be a grandstand final 9 minutes here as we creep up on the 81st minute. So players break from their huddles. I think the Detroit City FC trainer is going to require the player come off. Yeah, we see the contact, the clash there. Yeah. Just going for the header. Looks like both players are going to come off and before being put back on. So Cleveland going to have the honor here of restarting play. Detroit City FC is going to have to hold firm here. A good ball into the area caused some trouble for the back line. I think that was probably the best served ball in all day by the visitors, and Maya Sulis able to run onto the field and if one of her teammates looked up, she might have been in a position where she could have received the ball, but makes her way back to the center back position and allowing Romine and Teffen and Crum to handle the attacking for the time being. Teffen now gets it over to Romine. Romine all the way out to the corner. Last time we saw her in this position, put the ball through the defender's legs. Not happening on this occasion. Childers plays it in, has it deflected the first time, coming all the way out. Megan Miles goes for it, and it took a bounce right before bouncing out of play. But Megan Miles coming on and early on stepping into a shot, and that would have been a really popular goal around here. Megan Miles, a really well-liked figure here amongst DCFC folks.
Let's get another look at it. Just wide of the post. Looking for her chance to recreate Sophia Romine's goal.
Yeah, they're all going to want to, right? You see something like that happen, yeah, you're going to want to replicate it. But Sophia Romine now 2 for 2 in goals here at Keyworth Stadium, and both have been absolute beauty. I think this one was better than the one we saw against Michiana. Obviously,
that's a tough claim. That is a bold claim.
Obviously, right now it carries some more weight to it. But having the fact that it's been the deal breaker so far between the two sides. Romine. Tefend. A great little layoff there to Megan Miles. Just sort of tripped over herself just a little bit there as Tefend gets back onto the ball now and looking to dribble into some space. Tefend to the goal line, has it all the way, gets it over to Drew Martin. The right-footed shot comes, I believe this is Ella Kane. And on the doorstep there was Kayla Addison, who's still going to fight for it. Gets pushed in the back. Ella Kane now dribbling through, and you know, I feel like Kayla Addison might have a claim there, but the goalkeeper.
I think there's a claim there. I think the keeper, as we see a replay here, we'll get a good look at it.
It was a good job by Ella Kane to get the ball back into the mixer, and then Kayla Addison realizes she can go for it, and I don't know if there's much contact, but there's enough. It's one of those. It could go either way, right? The same thing we saw with what could have been a red card early in that first half with the goalkeeper off of her line. A different referee might call that in a different way. So,
you know what? You can't leave yourself at the mercy of the referee, though. You have to convert goals, and they've done that here.
Who would your woman of the match be, you know, as we're 85 minutes gone here in this match so far? I mean, there's so many candidates for it, right? So many players played well in that first half of action. It's hard to pick just one. It's
hard to look past that Sophia Romine goal. If I had to pick another player out, I've been really impressed with Ella Offer's play tonight. All over the field. She's been on the attacking end. She's been on the defensive end.
Tefend now, stepping into some space. That one's going to come all the way through. Hannah Crum in front of the box. Megan Miles going for the right-footed effort.
Claims that a handball, and they will get it.
They're going to say
just outside the box.
They're going to say that was right outside of the box, but I felt like that could have been inside of the area. Not too many complaints.
Get another look at it.
City FC squad.
Get another look at it here, hopefully.
We'll see. It came all the way back out
to the top of the key. Ooh, it looks like it is just outside the line to me, to my eye, and that is where the referee has placed the ball.
Yeah, the body was, I think the feet were outside of the line, but I was more worried about the shoulder coming out and the arm coming out. But it's a good call from the official.
It was a very clear handball call. She had to make that. Very dangerous position to have a free kick here. Hannah Crum over the ball again. She tried to slide the last one underneath the wall.
Or she scuffed it, but we're going to give her the benefit of the doubt. So if she did scuff it, she'll want to make up for that right here, and what a better way to do so. Hannah Crum, left-footed shot comes in. It goes off the wall and takes a weird bounce. Sort of calls for I don't know, maybe half-hearted. Yeah. I always feel bad for the wall there. Like, it's going to hit their hand.
It either hit her side or her arm, but her arm was pinned to her side. I don't think there's much in that. I think the correct call is to let it play on. Yeah. So we see a replay of it. I think that's the correct call.
Corner is going to come in now, delivered by Hannah Crum. That one's going to come all the way. It's off of the crossbar.
Even closer to an Olympico there.
Know. All night, all afternoon, we'd be getting closer to bangers, and then we eventually saw one from Sophia Romine, and we're getting closer and closer to Olympicos. And on that occasion, it was Hannah Crum that played a beautiful ball into a dangerous position. Yeah, I mean, that one almost hit the crossbar and the post.
The keeper just got a glove on it, and you wonder where it would have gone if she hadn't managed that.
And it's a great delivery by Crum because that's such an awkward position for the keeper as Kayla Addison's going to receive the ball in the box. A really good toe poke through the legs there, but only as far as the Cleveland defender. Come out to defend. Despite it, this is one of the most entertaining 1-0s I've ever seen as we creep up on the 87th minute of play here from Keyword Stadium. Detroit City FC going to like where they're at. Good job here to shuffle play back and forth, side to side as Detroit City FC. Ella Kane's been really impressive since coming on, getting really involved in the play as well as Childers. Childers, of course, assisting Sophia Romine's goal. I almost feel bad for her because not many people are going to remember that assist because of how great the strike was from Romine. I think it was the Premier League did a thread of forgotten assists, and a lot of them were just a 2-yard pass to a teammate who just absolutely rips one, and we saw that on display here at Keyword Stadium. That referee, that one's going to go off the official. She feels bad about it. You could tell she feels bad about it.
It is the correct call. It does bounce directly to Megan Miles' feet, and she plays a pass to an attacker, but feels a little hard done by.
What's that quote where it's like, if that happened, if I had a nickel for every time that happened, I'd have 2 nickels. But it's just weird it happened twice. And that one comes in and Hannah Crum forces a save. But it is weird. You don't see that often twice in a game. So we should feel fortunate to be on hand for it here at Keyworth. That one's going to come all the way back. Avery Peters now on the ball. Peters kind of coming over to a wing back position. Tried to slip in Kayla Addison, unable to do so. Been really impressed with Megan Miles' contribution so far since coming on, and Hannah Crum obviously been involved in the play a hefty amount as we creep up here on the 89th minute of play. Stoppage time looming here at Keyworth Stadium, and Detroit City FC sitting pretty with a 1-0 lead and looking to advance to 4-0-0. For those that keep track of the stats and scores around the Great Lakes Division, a huge result for Detroit City FC the other night was Midwest United fell to Flint City AFC. So this win will put Detroit City FC in sole possession of the top of the table. If you're looking it up online, though, it's a little silly the way they do it. They do points per game, so they will points per game will even out in the end.
Yeah. It will be
a
straight traditional soccer table.
Yeah, and if you're looking at the table now, it'll say Detroit City FC is in first because they have 3.0 points per game. But technically coming in, Midwest had more points. But now with their loss, Detroit City FC now on 12 points will be top of the table as we creep up on the 90th minute of play. And it looks like we'll see how much stoppage time there is. We know how much stoppage time there is, folks. Pulling the curtain back a little bit. Referee's going to look 2 minutes of added time here for Detroit City FC to see this one out as we cross the 90th minute mark. So 2 minutes for Detroit City FC to keep doing what they've been doing all night. It would be really uncharacteristic of Cleveland to score a goal here with the way that this game has gone so far. Of course, I say that, and it could happen, a bolt from the blue like we saw from Sophia Romine just a few minutes ago. So not out of the woods yet, Detroit City FC. Of course, they would like a larger advantage the way this game has gone, but sort of for the first time tonight kind of pinned back in their own half, and Cleveland just has throw-in after throw-in after throw-in. All it takes is one awkward bounce, and they could be through on goal. Or a miscommunication right there, what we almost saw, but eventually cleared away, but only to the top of the box. Shriver's going to have some work to do. It'll go out for a deflected corner.
With it being this late in the game, I would like to see them just clear that ball out of there. Don't take any chances.
I think they would have liked that too.
Time is on your side if you can get the ball out of the box.
So here we go. The corner coming in for Cleveland. They've been played into the area. It's going to be leapt up for it. Thought maybe that one could have come off of a hand, but Kayla Addison's going to have some work to do, tracking all the way back. Shriver's off of her line and up for it, and that's really the first time all afternoon Shriver's had to make a crucial save and does a great job to get up and claim that one. Takes some time off the clock, and there can't be many seconds left in this one.
Strong hands on that. Good job to hold on to the ball. As she fell to the ground, there was some contact with her own player.
But a good job to keep that one in her hands. Obviously, we've said it before, that shows the experience that she has in her locker. Not only in the outdoor game for Detroit City FC, but the indoor game as well. Took part in the PASL season. So more than familiar with coming up to claim those. And the referee is going to blow the whistle. Detroit City FC improves to 4-0-0 on the season via an incredible strike from Sophia Romine to separate the two sides. Detroit City FC 4-0, but some big games coming up for the squad.
Next Tuesday, next game for them, away in Kalamazoo.
That was a difficult place to go and play.
It has been a difficult place over the years, both for the women's side and the men's side. It is a very lovely away day, though. I do love that stadium for
You're going to be out there for it?
I'm unfortunately not going to be able to make the trip, but I will be watching it.
I'll be out there for it, so hopefully Detroit City picks up another 3 points. And then on Saturday, a matchup against AFC Ann Arbor, some old foes for Detroit City FC fans that have been around a long time. And Detroit City FC improves to 4-0-0, top of the Great Lakes Division, and get the job done here at Keyworth Stadium today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I've been Jarrett Mackey alongside Sean Grogan. We'll see you next Saturday from here at Keyworth Stadium as Detroit City FC welcomes AFC Ann Arbor.